Welcome back to Plunder Point. This is going to be a short one. We're just going to look at the population panel here, and we're going to look at the detail pane and why this information here is the most important information in the game in many ways. It's especially true about this particular column here, available jobs, which is related to unemployed here. Now, the other column that is somewhat important to us are the unsatisfied and the unsold goods, which has to do with the unfilled freight orders here. Okay. But let's start with the most important one. Okay. So we're just going to pause this city for a minute here, and we're going to look at the actual details of the detail Plunder Point population detail panel here. Welcome to the population panel. Increase land value to get wealthier Sims to move in and zone to grow your population. Okay. That's the basic mechanism of this game, is growth. Okay. The idea is to grow your city into a bigger city and to keep it from becoming bankrupt or running out of things or becoming crime ridden. Or so there's several ways cities can fail. Unemployment is one of them. Your Sims have to have work. If they're not working, then they're not spending. You're going to have problems. So employment is one of the foundations of this game. Now there's two ways you can look at the information that's available. One is these little bars here. Okay, you have industrial demand, you have commercial demand, and residential demand, green, blue, and yellow. And these correspond roughly to these conditions in this detail pane. There's the history, but it's really not that useful. I mean, this history pane will tell us some things about the current state and the historical state, of course. Okay. But really, I almost never look at the history. I'm almost always looking at the detail. And the reason that I want to look at this detail is I need to know what kind of zones I need to create. Okay? You can create all the zones you want. If there's not a demand for that zone, the Sims aren't gonna populate it. Okay? And that's not the real problem. The real problem is in balancing the zones. Okay, this game requires that there be a certain number of residents to a certain number of commercial zones to a certain number of industrial zones. And those three are interrelated. Okay? And then you got to throw in other factors like parks and commuting. Okay, so there's some give and take. If you have more than one city, commuting can balance things out. And if you have some resources or a great works, you can focus and maybe change the balance somewhat. So cities that have resources, for instance, they can have more industrial and less commercial. Cities without resources, generally they have less industrial and more commercial. So there's that aspect to it. And then you have to balance the residential against those two. Now this sounds terribly complicated. It's not. Because in practice, all you got to do is keep giving these sims zones when there's available jobs. Okay. This is the key point to the game, so I'm going to repeat it a few times here. You need to keep giving the sims what they want in terms of jobs. So if there's jobs, you got to zone land so that the sims can take the jobs. So the more jobs, the more zoning. Okay? And then if there's unsatisfied customers here in the shopping section, then you need to build more shops. Okay? If you have too many shops, you'll have unsold goods. And then you never generally need to look at this if you have too many unfilled orders. Your demand for employment will go up. So freight orders you can watch, but it's not something you want to keep an eye on. This is the big one. Okay, you definitely do not want unemployed. You don't mind commuting out. You really want the most people working you can, but the way to focus on that is these available jobs. So let's look at this in practice now. So right now I need 315 low income jobs. I need 92 medium income, and I have 17 high income jobs. And I can tell you right now, I probably have I have no high income people at all in this city. So that's going to limit what this city can do in terms of class development, upper class development, because I have no upper class people whatsoever. Now, usually you want to start off with the most pressing need, which is in this case low income jobs. And the way to satisfy that demand is to add low income housing by zoning residential. Okay. Let's take your road tool here. Let's go into an overhead view so we can get a better look. Just grab it from an intersection here. It should lock into a grid pattern for us. Just extend these. And let's go every second one for now. Is that what I really want? Yeah, that's what I really want. Okay, wait a minute. I messed this up. Press escape. Let's get it. Oh, yeah, it is crooked. It is. Oh, because this road is crooked. Well, can I fix it? Yeah, I could. Oh, there's something there. Some sort of resource. We'll leave that for a minute. There we go. Get that second line. Go across to here. There we go. Let's finish this here. All right. Now what I need to do is grab some residential zone tool, and I just need to fill in this section. Now we'll let it run, and we're going to let it run fast here, and we're going to watch the Sims move in, and we're going to go to the detail pane. And we're going to watch these jobs decrease here as the Sims move in. There they go. See, you can see those job numbers dropping. Now, the other avenue that we can use, pardon the pun, to fix this situation is we can use this handy little road upgrade tool here. And we can upgrade our roads to higher densities. Okay, so for instance, we can take this road here and we can make it a medium density street. And this is often preferable in some ways to building out. It's less expensive to upgrade a street than it is to build a new one. Okay, so let's look at our population now. We're down to 251, so we still need more. So we can continue to zone. We got a $25,000 reward there. Okay, now let's just extend this road a little more here for now. And this one. All right, let's go back to our population here. So we're down to 90. Okay, we're down to 19 available jobs, which is much better than 300. Okay, now let's address the next number, the medium. How do you do that? The way to do that is with trees, sports or trees. Okay, so we can add, say, a tennis court or a basketball court or a volleyball court. They're all the same, $440 an hour. Let's add a tennis court. Okay, you can see the area that it covers here. Okay, so what we want is to put this court right here. That'll turn these houses in this area into a more upscale, more expensive zone. Let's put a couple of these because they need to have some shopping too. Put a shop there for now. We're going to bulldoze that later and we put a road through there. Okay, we need not enough freight producers. So let's slow this down a minute. Oh, and the other thing we want to do here is while we're at it, let's upgrade these roads. Okay. Let's go back to our population panel. And we can see that we have decreased the number of jobs, available jobs for middle income, medium income people. And if we go down, we can look at these houses. You can see that they're bigger. Okay. So just this public tennis court. Okay. Now, tennis courts work, but I would recommend trees. The reason I'd recommend trees is they literally take up less space. There we go. Okay, so we can that'll encourage these shops to be high or medium, not low income shops. Just like houses, shops also are low, medium, and high income. Now, let's go back here. Whoops, let's add a few more of these. That'll probably get rid of that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get in some rich people. For that we need these plazas or formal. But we're going to start with the plaza. We're going to start with these flowers or these small sculpture gardens. So they're $40 an hour. They're not very expensive. Everything else is more expensive. So you just need a few of these. Okay? They're not big, but they do the trick. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now, rich people don't like dirt roads. Okay? So you might as well upgrade the road almost right away. Okay, now, when we fill these in, we are going to get big houses. Give them some shops here. I wonder. Yeah, let's make this all blue here. Oh, okay. There we go. All blue. There we go. There's the big houses. Now let's go back to our. There we go. Let's go look at some of these big houses. All right. There we go. There's a big house. Okay. Here's another one. And another one. Okay. So now let's go back to our population panel. Now you see I've overbuilt low income housing. So there's two ways to deal with this. One is to zone some industrial. Okay. So if we go back to our industrial area and we add a couple factories, there we go. Add some zoning. They'll build a factory here because the industrial demand is high. Oh, let's turn the speed up. There they go. There's a factory being developed. The other thing we can do is we can go to our road tool and we can make this a medium density road. And these factories will turn into bigger factories. Okay, so now we have a new factory. We can go back to our population detail panel and we should see this unemployment number go down. Now that won't happen until the morning now. Oh, and now because we have unemployment, the game thinks, oh, we might want to go evil. No, we do not want to go evil right now. Okay, business is good. Okay, let's go look at this population detail. We still have unemployed. So let's add some more factories. Okay. Now, here's the other way we can deal with this. You'll notice that we have available jobs for medium income people. So if we took a tree row and we stuck it right here, some of these people are going to upgrade their houses now and become medium zoned. So by upgrading the land value, you can change low income properties to medium income properties, and you can affect these numbers. Now you can see that we have 12 people working. We've lowered these numbers. We have more people working. Okay, so we have more revenue. Now we can go back to the history and we can see that we've increased the size of the city. and we've increased the wealth of the population, and we've added some upper income people. Okay? And that's how you use the detail pane. And that's why it's so important, because it allows you to keep your city balance in your city in balance. I guess that's the best way of putting it. Okay. And then once your city is in balance, and people are paying taxes, then you have money to further your development. So, and your city won't go bankrupt, and you won't be getting complaints because people have jobs and they can spend money at shops and they can go to work, do things. All right, so that's basically the little issue we were talking about here. Oh, these guys need power. Because remember, Plunder Point doesn't have power. It's been buying it, doesn't it? I think it does, yeah. I don't see it. Okay, so we can fix that real easy now. We have lots of money. Look, 224,000 in this little tiny city. Just put that up there. We'll grab us a on top of road. Okay, this is a good spot for it. Let's see what happens when it gets going here. There it goes. We need to add another one. Now we have an excess. Nope, still. Oh yeah, okay. Can add some service road here. All right, so there we go. We got power again. Everybody's happy. And we're making money. It's pretty crazy, that you can have a city this small and everybody is happy. Everybody's making money. You're putting money in the bank, and yet the city's really not doing anything. There we go. Get that last little red guy gone. Okay, good. So that's how you use the population detail pane. This is where you want to spend a lot of time. You want to watch these available job numbers, and you want to zone so that people can move in and your city has money. And it's good to have some residential on this side where the winds are blowing from. And then between your residential, you want to have some commercial so that the Sims can work, shop, and then go home. Or go to, stop for coffee on the way to work. Just like you would do. All right, so there it is, the population detail pane. Gonna call it a day now. That's all we needed to talk about. Thanks for watching. See you next time.